Even at the very end, I was unable to remember anything about myself. Someone, anyone, if you make it beyond here, please don't forget my name. And that's the prologue, everyone. Not sure that introduced much. That introduced the main characters that you're going to be interacting with. I wonder if there's a higher res version of this somewhere. Me too. The only version I know of is the PSP version. Fate Extra. His story has ended. But what about yours? Before you write your own story, choose the vessel of your power. That's right, chat. Welcome to the Kingdom Hearts. Choose your weapon. All right, chat. I'm going to start a poll. And you're going to answer it. Nero versus Tamamo. You've got 2 minutes. I'm starting the poll now. VOD watchers, speed forward for 2 minutes. I'm going to refill my water in the meantime, because that was a long prologue, and I'm thirsty. I'm back with a drink. What's the third option? Well, the 3 characters you can pick, Saber, Archer, Caster, are Nero, Emiya, and Tamamo. Now, for anyone that doesn't know how Nero is good, Nero actually gets, like, story stuff in this, so there's that. Also, this is also somewhat of a difficulty selector. Nero makes the game easier, Emiya makes the game a little harder, and Tamamo makes the game way harder. Nero is the strongest to start with. Emiya, it takes a little bit to get ramped up, and Tamamo is late game really strong, but early game really weak. And it looks like Tamamo wins. All right. Our first run through this game will be with Tamamo. Chat has selected the Foxy Tales. You are now going to learn why many people like Tamamo and her floof. Honestly, look at this. A woman who wields a sword boldly. If you played Fate Stay Night, you're like, oh shit, Saber. A stoic warrior clothed in red robes, you're like, oh, that's Emiya. A magical fox girl is the new one. Alright, let's get some mofu mofu. Touch some fluffy tails. Caster, Maniac, a half-demon shaman clad in revealing robes. This servant is for players who want to be challenged by facing true adversity in battle. Yeah, that's true. Let's do it! The fluffy tail shall be ours! Where is the belfry? And that moment, gentle days end. I always waken very abruptly. I don't even think I dream. I suddenly find myself walking to school. My headache worsens day by day until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day, in potent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to the schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless, 7:30 a.m., but what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I let go and faint. For some reason, I've been embracing a rush of useless information. The normal stuff you'd see at school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I push the thought, my field of vision fizzles. Today, again today, there's a crowd of students milling in front of the school gate, and more are being directed that way. As to what's going on, there's a boy in a black uniform in front of the school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryudo, as I recall. I remember this from the first time when Issei notices me looking at him. He pushes through the crowd. By the way, for those wondering, the slash whatever, that's the first text is the big text, and the slash text is called furigana. That is text that is written above the text. Fate itself is a series that loves, the way that Nasu writes, loves to do that, where they will write one thing and then write something different above it. So it's supposed to be the same thing said at the same time, but two different meanings usually. So it's a Japanese thing that doesn't translate well over to English. So this is a pretty good way to do it. Putting a slash and putting it in a slightly different thing. Just use parenthesis. It's the same thing. This is basically the same. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce the school rules. He runs through his spiel, as if this was the first time he'd ever disclosed the information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache. I'm so dizzy, I feel like I'm being forcibly logged out of my consciousness. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be on you at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answer clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. Please select your gender. Well, I'm a male. So, because I am a male and because we are with Tamamo, it's time to be male Hakuno. Boop. We'll just put the name in. Hakuno. There we go. That's all the name we need. Time to become a husbando. Hakuno last name. Look, he's just got one name, like Prince. Ah, screw you. Let me be just one name. It's really weird how you can't have just a single name. Whoops. I want spaces. I want blank spaces, please. There we go. Hakuno Kishinami. Oh, you can't even fit Kishinami in. That's Hakuno's actual name. You can't fit Hakuno's name in. What the fuck? Oh, no. I didn't even know that. I've never tried that before. Hakuno MC for main character. Mick Hakuno. Welcome to Mick Hakuno's. There we go. Yeah, I can't fit it in English. That's true. Please enter nickname. We'll just make it Hakuno. Oh, what if we named him Hakuno and the nickname is Hakuno? That might be better. Nah, we're gonna stick with Mick Hakuno. I like Mick Hakuno. Welcome to Mickey H's. Do it. Alright. Chat wants the Hakuno. How do I back? There we go. Hakuno. With the nickname of Hakuno. Perfect. There. No matter what they call me, first name, last name, or nickname, we're Hakuno. Great, there's no telling when an emergency might occur, and it'll be a help if you have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and it's making me sick. Now for the uniform inspection. Collar, check. Pants, check. And your socks, check. I want him to get out of my way. I want this repetition to stop. I just push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut, and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Tsukimihara Academy student. He keeps on talking loudly, even though he's facing no one. I have a headache. I'm shivering. I know one thing for sure. This is wrong. This isn't the school I know. It just can't be. I have to go. I have to hurry and wake up, or else it'll be too late. But who am I awakening for? Dude, Fate Extra has some banging music in it. My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon arrives while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As is now the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, futility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind all of these feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that'll have the answers to all of my questions. Man, where is everyone? It's like a ghost town around here. Things are getting weird. Oh my god, 110 kilobytes. It's gonna break my hard drive. I mean my PSP's hard drive. Cough, cough. The moment I step foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensify. There's a student wearing a red uniform. Leo, the new transfer student. How big is Fate Extra? Big. This is going to take a while to get through. The instant I lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. There's also someone trailing behind him. It looks like one of my classmates. The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across while on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. Yeah, this is going to take several streams. Don't get it twisted. This is going to take a few streams. It's becoming clearer now. There are people who shouldn't exist. Students that mysteriously vanish. The fabric of reality is coming unraveled. Don't turn away now. What is the truth? Don't turn away now. What defines the world you know? Don't turn away now. There's a reason why you're here. Come, do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. For all 3 routes? Well, we'll probably do at least Tamamo and Nero. I know chat wants both waifu routes. Leo and one of the guys from my class are talking in the hallway up ahead. The attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that's the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. And how about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? You guys? For a moment, it feels as if he's including me in his comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmates, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have the suspicion that there's something malicious behind his smile. Attending school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I didn't come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell. Or no, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we'll see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial "see you later." Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. I'm trying to get things straightened out in my mind when Leo suddenly disappears. The student who's following him also disappears after touching the same spot on the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision distorts and the shock threatens to overwhelm me. What is going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of my unease. For those wondering how long Fate Extra really is, we're still in the intro. This is still the prologue. Like him, I place my hand on the wall, expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth, to why I have these feelings, begins right here. I want to know. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt this door leads to someplace unfathomable. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step toward the truth. Hi. An entrance to another world. Beyond this door, the previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange, silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead. A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. Although I've yet to learn anything, I need to do something besides stand here. At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only this strange doll as protection. Oh no, wait, I've seen this episode before. Don't do it! It didn't work out well for the last guy. I wonder if this is like the stairs in Super Mario 64 where it goes on forever. Ah! Look at all the cubes! Cubes! Now we're inside of a cube. Just use the Mario speedrun trick to zoom past everything. Oh, yeah. No longer a typical school campus, the floors and walls, the air, even the aura are slightly off. It wouldn't surprise me to see a monster pop out of the shadows. It's very much like a dungeon here. Welcome, Potential Master. With a shocking suddenness, a voice begins speaking. It sounds like it's coming from the empty sky above. If you are looking for answers, you must reach the goal. Now, please step forward. By the way, let me lower these a little bit. We can't save anymore, chat. The illuminated cube in front of you is called an item folder. Inside of it is a farewell present of sorts for those about to face the coming trial. Touch it to open it. Touch. An ether shard. Yay. Yay. Ether. I wish I could turn the camera a little bit. Oops. Oh no, the camera's stuck now. Uh-oh, one sec. Some of this control mapping might be a little bit off. F1. F2. Hopefully that'll fix that. No. Continue. Oh no. Hold on. Let me reload real quick. Let's see if that fixes this. Okay, why? Blah. Why is the control mapping like that? Let's see. This needs to be changed. Try that. And that. Okay, should that fix it? That should hopefully fix it. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. We're just gonna speed up really fast. Specifically for situations like this where stuff messes up. Whee! Super speed! There we go. Now I can actually turn the camera, thank God. That's much better. I did not realize that it had mapped my controls so weirdly. Alright. It's a monster, chat. No, play with a fixed camera. No. Before you is an enemy program. It is programmed to attack on sight. Touching it will initiate a battle. But you won't actually fight as you are too fragile. The effigy given to you will fight in your stead. If your effigy is ever destroyed in battle, you will no longer be shielded from harm. To put it bluntly, you will die. So be careful in battle. But there's no need to be afraid. For now. Just do what I say and you'll be perfectly safe for the time being. First off, why don't I explain a little bit about battles? First of all, there are 3 basic commands that you can issue in battle: attack, guard, and break. Each turn in battle is composed of 6 actions, and you will need to tell your effigy what your strategy is to be. Battles are divided into turns with 6 commands being issued each turn. Once confirmed, they will be executed all at once. The enemy before you should be quite easy to defeat, as it will only perform break. Break, which is focused solely on power, shouldn't be much of a problem against attack. Now, use the attack command to destroy the program. Use the directional button to confirm the command and press X to confirm your selection. Enter 6 then, and then press X to annihilate your enemy. Yes. This is rock, paper, scissors. Attack beats break, break beats guard, guard beats attack. Therefore, since you're gonna break the whole time, we're gonna attack, 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 attack. Look at that damage. I am the rock, paper, scissors master. So, how did it go? One thing to know is that in each turn, you'll have to plan a series of 6 moves that will defeat your foe. The goal is still far ahead. If you must bask in the afterglow of your victory, do so while moving forward. You can overcome break by using attack. There's patterns to this. It's not pure RNG. Oh, look, here comes another program. You seem nervous. Perhaps you're anxious about fighting in another battle. Don't be alarmed, that enemy isn't strong enough to harm you. It is programmed to only use attack. While attack is a potent action, using guard will allow you to defend and then counterattack. Guard can be used to reduce the damage caused by an enemy attack, but I trust you know this. Guard. It will block an attack and then counterattack. Now that you know how this battle will unfold, use the appropriate command to defeat the enemy program. Guard, 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 guard. Chat, look, we're defeating Tracer. This is what you get. Yes, that's exactly right. As you may have already noticed, performing 3 successful attacks in a row results in a chain. By performing multiple chain attacks, you can perform a devastating follow-up attack on your opponent. While doing multiple chain attacks in the heat of battle may be difficult, the results make it worth the effort. Now, please proceed. Whatever happened to Shinji, you'll see. You should be used to the fundamentals of battle at this point, but I'll walk you through this one last time. This program will only use guard and do nothing in battle but defend against harm. But no matter how stout one's defense may be, it will be for naught against the break command. Remember, always use the appropriate command for any given situation. Haha, I'm gonna go break your guard. Break guard. Break guard. The Enforcer. Unfortunately for us, Shinji will show up again. See, this is the problem with the previous student. He didn't get to go through tutorial dungeon, so he just kept selecting guard against his opponent and getting broken open. Each of the 3 attacks bounces out the other one. No attack is dominant. That's why skills exist. What I just covered is the absolute basics of battle and the minimum info you'll need to know. Once you master the basics, all that's left is to test yourself in battle and gain valuable experience. Now please proceed. Ah. You know what? It turns out that the camera controls are normal is inverted, inverted is normal. It's weird. Confirm. There we go. Why? I don't know, chat. Oh, look. Look at all the dead stuff. Look, chat, it's an Almanite. Or perhaps an Almastar. All of the enemy programs you've faced so far only used one move, which won't happen in... Okay, I can explain why it works like this. One sec. The reason the camera works like that is you're controlling the literal camera itself rather than the screen. Rather than controlling what the, what is being shown, as in moving the screen to the right or left, you're moving the camera, which sits behind the character, right or left. So inverting the camera controls means that when you press right, it goes to the right, and when you hit left, it goes to the left. You're moving an object rather than the screen, yes. So yeah, it's because they're very literally telling you this is how you control the camera. It's being quite literal about it. All of the enemy programs you faced so far have only used one move, which won't happen in a real fight. Like you, your enemies will choose their actions based on the situation and general observation. Their actions will be very difficult for you to predict at first. As you face the same enemy multiple times, you will be able to read their tendencies and patterns accurately. When you first enter a battle, your opponent's moves will be mostly hidden from you. Being able to guess your opponent's moves with only a limited amount of info is the key to victory. Although, considering your lack of fighting experience, I may be expecting far too much from you. But anyway, please try your best. Break, break, guard. Break, break, guard. Attack, attack, break. Attack, attack, break. Let's see if they follow the same pattern. Defeat the Pylon Soul. Oh, look, it worked. Good job. All right then, please proceed to the final room. Chat, the music in Extra is very saxy. Very saxy indeed. Wow, how did I know? I'm a genius, obviously. I'm a genius that makes Shinji shiver in his little panties. I made it. At the end of a very long road, after going through a door that suddenly appeared in the wall, the oppressive air of this place where the spirits of the dead still linger. Here's my goal. And that's what I thought. Further in, it appears as if someone had collapsed. Oh, Prologue student, if only you went through tutorial dungeon. When I look into his face, it's the student who was following Leo just now. I call out to him, but I get no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him, when I notice he's stone cold. Steve Austin! I go as pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment the fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. After having to fight several enemy programs to get here, it's obvious that this thing is an enemy as well. Without warning, it suddenly twists around and comes at me. Come at me, bro. Bring it on, nerd! Obviously, we choose attack because attack is the best option. Oh no, it guarded. This thing's a genius! Look at it go! Okay. Oh no. Oh! Rip. We've been defeated, chat. And that's the story of Fate Extra. You seem to be lacking as well. I can hear the sound of a distant voice. The time has come. With your inevitable loss, I will consider this round of preliminaries to be over. Farewell. I pray you'll find peace in your annihilation. That is the voice's final words to me. I don't have the power to protest. All I can do is stare at the floor. I think I'm gonna die here. Suddenly, at the very edge of my now hazy vision, a number of brown-colored lumps seemed to rise from the ground. Actually, it might be that I just noticed them now. They may have been there from the very beginning, for all I know. Those lumps are the bodies of an untold number of fallen Tsukimihara students. The guy before me wasn't the only one to fall. All of the others made it here and died, unable to do anything. And in a very short while, I suppose I'll become one of them. Maybe I should just close my eyes now. I did all that I could, so maybe it'd be better for me to end it now. You know what? You're right. Let's die. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Hey, alright. Time to die. Fuck it. My eyelids lower as if weighted down by my consciousness, and I begin to fade as I seem to melt into the floor. And just like that, I slowly fall into a deep slumber from which I will never awaken. Dead end. Alright, reload. I refuse to give up. Main character speech time. I refuse to give up. I summon all of my strength in an attempt to get back on my feet. However, as I try to move, an unbearably intense pain shoots through my entire body. If that's how it's going to be... No, if this is... I still refuse to give up. I don't want it to end like this. I can't ignore the intense pain coursing through my body. I've reached a point where I no longer see stars as my eyes feel like they're on fire. I feel like all 5 of my senses are being ripped from my body. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of losing my senses. I'm afraid of becoming a corpse. And the most terrifying thing, disappearing without a trace for any reason at all. It's not right that I disappear here. My consciousness, shot through with waves of distortion, screams out against the injustice of it all. What was the purpose of suffering through those headaches just to fade away here and now? Why were they all what were they all for if I just fade away here and now? I have to stand up. It's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I'm in pain. I have to rise above all of that. Because I've yet to fight of my own volition and on my own terms. Whose voice is that?
他の神様が聞き逃しても私の耳にピンときました。羽化の御霊の神もご承覧あれ。この人を冥府に落とすのはまだ早すぎ。
That's right.
だってこのイケメン魂きっと素敵な人ですから、ちょっと私にくださいな。
Fuck those other doors. The sound of breaking glass is accompanied by a light cutting through the gloom. I manage to move my weary body and aching head to see what's happening. I didn't notice it before, but something was slowly rising up from the floor in the middle of the room. That form. Its appearance isn't much different from that of a human being, but something was different. Clearly so. The power emanating from it transcended that of any human, or of any enemy I'd faced in getting here. An awesome power that seems as if it'd vaporize anyone it touches swirls within my body against my will. Fun fact here. What do you think happens if you say no, chat? Pushed along by the intensity of the kimono-clad figure in front of me, I agree to become her dear master. That's right, she just forces it on you. Silly chat. Illusion of choice? No, you actually have a choice. The answer is, if you say no to Archer, he'll just peace out. I'm not even kidding. Say no to Archer and he leaves. You die. But Tamamo's a bit more of a waifu. I ask of thou, art thou my master? No. Oh, guess I got the wrong guy. Peace. She takes a hold of my hand and helps me to my feet. For the hand she had grabbed comes a sudden warmth, and then a sharp pain like I'd been cut by a knife. On the back of my hand, as though tattooed, is a strange symbol that looks like some kind of crest. Totally confused, I alternate between staring at the mark on my hand and the person standing before me. And then, a noise behind me brings me back to my senses. Turning around, I see that the effigy from before is still there, now in a fighting stance. I wince uncontrollably, recalling my previous defeat at its hands. Master, if it isn't any trouble, would you please leave this to me? I will absolutely obliterate that worthless wooden toy and erase any trace of its existence from this world. Behold the power of a servant. Is it possible to win against it the first time? No, not really. The doll will kick the shit out of you. The reason it doesn't show you any of its moves ever is because it's programmed to counter your moves. You can get, like, maybe the first 3 hits if you're lucky, but it'll beat you from that point on. It's an input reader. It's a cheater. Look at Tamamo's butt. To be fair, your input reading right now? Yeah, but I have a whole servant to work with. I have an actual servant to work with, and that's nothing but a wooden doll. The servant should win 1,000,000% of the time. That's why I get to input read. We got an ether shard. Yay! Master level 2. MP go up. HP go up. Skill points go up. What is this on? The PSP. There's a PSP game. That's why the visuals are the way they are. Also, for those wondering difficulty, we are technically on the hardest difficulty that is possible in the game, by picking Tamamo and on the normal route. The battered effigy stops moving. There's no way it'll still function after being effectively torn apart. Thanks to you, my dear master, I was able to win while using only 5% of my power. She continues to talk. However, the sound of her voice doesn't quite reach my ears. The heat coming from the mark on my hand grew in intensity during the fight, and the resulting pain has become unbearable. It burns through my consciousness. The mark imprinted on your hand is your command seal. It is proof that you hold dominion over a servant. You can use it to give 3 orders that must be obeyed. Think of them as disposable strengthening spells. It is also proof of your participation in the Holy Grail War. If you lose it for some reason, you will die. Once again, I hear that voice. I somehow manage to ignore the pain and listen to what it has to say. I can understand your confusion, but before I forget, congratulations! You have endured much to make it here. Now rest for a while. You've achieved your first goal. It was an incredibly clumsy effort, to say the least, but that's what made it all the more entertaining. I've had this duty for a long time, but this is the first time I've seen a master as helpless as you. Nevertheless, be proud of your achievement. Your quick thinking came as a result of nerves and rashness. Thinking about it, the voice sounds like that of a 30-year-old man, and it's really irritatingly smug. For some reason, I can see the owner of the voice as a priest dressed in a somber cassock. That's right, chat. It's time to change the voice. Oh? You are curious about my identity? I am honored, but I am insignificant. I am merely a part of the system. I am just a guide tasked with giving a standard message, and given the personality of a prior participant. I am no more than words, no more than the mountain you just conquered, no more than a record of the past. A record? So if I raise any objections to this voice, does it mean I won't receive any answers in return? Oh sure, I'll answer your question. Since when does losing your command spells make you lose? Forever. If you don't have your command spells, whoever holds your command spells has dominion over your servant. So if your hand gets cut off and stolen, you basically lose your servant. And then you will die. Because that's how Holy Grail Wars work, especially this one. If you get your hand cut off and still hold on to it, you're still okay. You've got your command spells, you just, they're more portable than before. Exactly. Well, this is unexpected. You have received a commendation. Something about you having a light. Yorokobe Shonen. I have no clue I have no clue who would say such a thing about me. But that short phrase struck my heart because for some reason, I knew the words were sincere. And as for, I expect good things from you, it seemed like more of a command than an encouragement. Now let us commence your baptism. You have proven yourself worthy of the honor. For most, the monotony of everyday life continues on without end. Your decision to look beyond the accepted in progress means you have earned the right to exist. However, you have but taken the first step. Be jubilant, shonen, for the Holy Grail War begins now. Literally, they changed the words there, but I believe here in Japanese it's probably Yorokobe shonen. I have no idea what he's talking about. The Holy Grail War? The right to exist? That is correct. An object of great power once existed in the world, one that could grant any desire. People called it the Holy Grail, and fought endlessly in an attempt to gain sole possession of it. This war, the system you find yourself in now, is an evolution of those struggles. You stand at the entrance of a deadly struggle where many magi will perish in pursuit of the Holy Grail. Listen, magi. Had I not bestowed upon the earth desire, you'd be merely saints capable of committing sin. Now fight to the death. The fiery throne of heaven will only receive those with the strongest of desires. The voice reverberates throughout this hidden chapel, as if it were the voice of God. Kill, magi, Holy Grail that grants wishes. These questions and more swirl inside my head and almost seem to carve themselves into my flesh. In war, a weapon is needed. That is your servant. They are the spear that pierces, the shield that protects. A legendary soul whose purpose is to clear your way to the Grail. That is the one who stands beside you. A waifu beyond all waifus. I look over at the young woman with the foxtail who returns my look with a glowing smile. She's my servant. It seems you have decided, and with that decision as payment, I now open the gates to the Holy Grail War. The marks on my hand, my command seal, once again begin to become excruciatingly painful. It's over. I can't take it anymore. Faint. I reach the limits of my endurance and my mind starts to shut down as I lose consciousness. I can vaguely hear the voice's final words. Now, let the Holy Grail War begin. No matter the era, deciding who is worthy through battle is the divine providence of man. Magi who have been invited here by the moon, show me your true strength. The intro is finally over, chat.
Alright.
It only took 3.5 hours.